Finance Committee meeting to order. Chair would entertain a motion for the consideration of claims.
Yes, I would move to pay $308,285.50 worth of bills, manual checks in the amount of $953.31, payroll liabilities for December 13th, 13, and December 27th, 13 in the amount of $413,592.06 for a total of $722,830.87.
And I will second that motion. Any discussion on the bills?
I had nothing.
Okay. I had two questions. The first one is page 4 of 12 on item 18168 on the Fremont County Youth Services. It just had a note underneath that claim from another period for December of 13. Wondered why that wasn't in December and is now in the January claim period.
See that. I don't know why it's listed that way. Your Honor, I don't know. I'm not sure why it says claim for another 1213. This is just their quarterly distribution that we're paying of $11,250. So I'm not sure why it has that little asterisk. We can find out.
Okay. And then the only other question I had was, it was on one of the over budgeted items. It's listed on page 5 as 5 of 12 for the utilities, for the High Plains Power, for the DCI building. Current line item is exceeded. And so I guess my questions on that were, are we going to see deficit for utilities on that building until the end of the fiscal year, or does the rent that DCI pays cover utilities or just the loan amount?
Your Honor, on that one, we estimated how much the cost would be for utilities on that, and that's included in their rent. So we do have a separate line item that's the same one that comes out of that, so we can look at that. I'm not sure if we're over what we estimated the amount. I don't believe we are.
Okay.
But that looks like the electric service.
Yeah, and it just made it look like in the notes that we would see that, over the next 6 months if we're over that 2,000 for that line item.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I will check for that.
Okay, those are the only questions I had. So all those in favor of the consideration of claims say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Is there any other business for us tonight, Mr. Weaver?
No, I don't have any.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Now call the January 7, 2014 regular meeting of the Riverton City Council to order at 7 p.m. Would Councilmember Guard lead us in the pledge, please?
Thanks, Mayor.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would the city clerk please conduct the roll call?
Yes, Your Honor. Councilwoman Mary Ellen Christensen. Present. Councilman Rich Guard.
Here.
Councilman Jonathan Fabian.
Here.
Councilman Todd Smith.
Here.
Mayor Ron Warpness.
I'm present. Thank you. I declare that we have a quorum this evening in spite of the fact that we're missing 2 of our councilmen. So, Chair would entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Your Honor, I would move to approve the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 6 is communication from the floor, citizens' comments. Anyone in the audience wishing to address the council regarding an item that is already on the agenda will be given an opportunity to speak later on. I would ask those individuals who wish to address the council at this time to approach the podium and identify yourself for the record. Is there anyone that would like to address the council at this time? Okay. Consent agenda. Would the city clerk please read the consent agenda by items by title only?
Yes, Your Honor. Approval of the minutes, December 17th, 2013 regular council meeting. Approval of the minutes, January 7th, 2014 Finance Committee meeting. Approval of Finance Committee recommendations for January 7th, 2014. Resolution number 1285 regarding designation of official depositories. Resolution number 1286, designation of legal newspaper. Catering permit applications received were the Lapeer for January 25th, 2014 for Wild Turkey Foundation Annual Banquet at Fremont Center, 4 o'clock p.m. to 12 a.m. Lapeer, January 25th, 2014 Fremont County Fire Protection District Annual Banquet at St. Margaret's Gym, 5 o'clock p.m. to 12 a.m. Business license application received for Cougar Gulch Lawn Care, Councilman Todd Smith, tree trimming license application.
Your Honor,
Okay, yes.
it's the recommendation of the Finance Committee for the approval of claims to be paid in the amount of $308,285.50.
Okay.
Manual checks in the amount of $953.31. Checks written for payroll liabilities for December 13th, 2013 and December 27th, 2013 in the amount of $413,592.06 for a total of $722,830.87.
Okay.
And also, I would like to request that the business license application, that's my application, be pulled from the consent agenda and considered separately because I will have to abstain from that vote.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion regarding the consent agenda.
Your Honor, I would move to approve the consent agenda minus the one item.
Point of order, Mayor, don't you have to have a second from Councilman Smith's request to pull his
Not for
application?
consent.
I don't believe so.
Not for consent.
Excuse me.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second on the consent agenda, approving the consent agenda with the caveat that we're removing item number G, and we'll consider it right after this. All those in favor of the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, and now we will do a motion regarding the business license application of Cougar Gulch Lawn Care.
Your Honor, I'd move to approve the license for the Cougar Gulch Lawn Care.
Okay,
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mayor votes aye. Motion carries. Okay, agenda item number 8, introduction of victim witness coordinator Cindy Guston. Chief of Police report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you know, I like to introduce public officials to you, or folks that we hire to serve the public good. And Cindy Guston is taking Carol Westlake's place as our victim witness coordinator. Cindy has worked for a number of years for the University of Wyoming and also had an office in Ethity for a number of years. She has a master's degree in social work and a very pleasant personality. So we're excited to have her on board, and I know she's going to step right in and do a great job for us. So I just want to introduce her to y'all and welcome her to the city.
Great. Well, welcome aboard, Cindy. Welcome. You have big shoes to fill. I do. Carol did a beautiful job for us.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yeah, Carol was with the city for years and years. I don't know how many years she was with the city, but quite a few. So we'll look forward to seeing you here for a long tenure. Okay, agenda item number 9. This is for amending something previously adopted, December 10, 2013 council work session minutes. And I've got myself down as giving the report, I guess. In that council meeting, that work session, why I read a city
Press release.
I was lost for the word. I had a brain cramp there. And as the way it was reported in the minutes, it just came out that the mayor read the EPA report, and that was basically it, and it didn't go into any details regarding the report or anything. So I would like to amend that minutes of that work session as we've noted, and I'm not sure I can find it here.
I can read
I
the
can read
language.
it, Your Honor.
You got it there handy? Okay. Okay, the way that it was previously read, Mayor Warpness read a press release regarding the EPA's opinion declaring that the area surrounding Riverton as Indian country. The focus of the press release was to make certain that the community knew that we did not agree with that EPA ruling and that we do not consider Riverton to be Indian country. And yet the way it came out in the minutes, it just didn't have that clarity. And so I changed that, and let's see. The city's press release read by Mayor Warpness expressly disagreed with that position, and he feels that this formal record for our work session should be changed. And so that's the background on it. And the chair would entertain a motion regarding this amendment if you're in agreement.
Your Honor, I would move to change the minutes from December 10th to reflect the city's strong disagreement with the EPA's opinion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mayor votes aye. Okay. Apologize for being a little awkward on that. I wasn't as prepared as I should be on that one. Declare vacancies in Ward 1 and Ward 3. The chair would entertain a motion to declare vacancies in Ward 1 due to the resignation of Eric Heiser, and Ward 3 due to the retirement of John Lars Baker.
Your Honor, I would make the motion to declare Ward 1 vacant on the resignation of Eric Heiser, and Ward 3 the vacancy with the retirement of Lars Baker.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mayor votes aye. City Administrator's report regarding the vacancy process.
Yes, Your Honor. And a lot of this comes out of the Riverton Municipal Code, and it states the process for filling vacancies on the council. So once the council has declared the vacancy, which you just did, the code states that we shall immediately solicit written application for such positions from among electors, designating a date after which no such application shall be accepted. So it'd be my recommendation that we start soliciting applications tomorrow, and give people till January 17th, 2014 at noon, and that's Friday, to turn in their application. That allows us to place those applications in your packet to be considered at the next Tuesday meeting, which would be January 21st. On January 21st in regular session, the council will interview the candidates and then break into executive session to deliberate. At that point, the council, if they are ready, could appoint applicants to the 2 vacant seats, or they could wait until the next meeting in February or call a special meeting. And that's really going to be determined how unanimous, I guess, you are in appointing the 2 new council members. The qualifications for being on the council includes being a citizen of the United States who is a bona fide resident of the city, who has registered to vote, and who is at least 18 years of age and live within the boundaries of the ward of the vacant seat. No person is qualified who is mentally incompetent, who has been convicted of a felony, and whose civil rights have not been restored, or who is otherwise barred from holding office by reason of state or federal. Both of these positions will have to run in the next general election, which is 2014, the year we're in. And so that's the process, and I guess it wouldn't be a recommendation because our code states what we need to do, but we need to advertise for these two. And if you're in concurrence with the dates that I've put in here, then we'll put the due date as January 17th, 2014 at noon. And they can submit letters of interest. Eventually we'll have to have an actual application from the city because they will become an employee of the city too. So.
Okay. Do you need a motion on that, or?
Yeah, I guess just to follow the dates, if you concur with that, or if you think they need longer time to apply. I'm trying to do it just so we can do it at that meeting, or we can wait to do it the first meeting in February.
Yes.
That seems kind of
Sure.
tight to me. It's 10 days from today, and today's already gone. So, if people are paying attention, they know that it's, we've had that word out from 1st of December, but if they're waiting for an invite, that's kind of tight planning, if you ask me.
So you think it should be extended?
I think so, personally. I just think that's kind of quick. 10 days. We got to live with them for the next year. So,
Yeah, I know we've been talking about it on Chit Chat every morning whenever we're on Chit Chat for the last, month and a half or 2 months, it seems like, so.
And maybe
So it's
I'm
something-
wrong. Maybe
so it's
that's
something
maybe that's great timing. It just seems fast to me.
And I think one of the reasons that we're trying to get people on board is so that we can, make the committee appointments and, have the retreat and, we've got a lot of things that's building up on us here, it seems like, and the longer we set that back, then it sets everything back, so. But if that's the feeling of the council that we need to expend it, I don't have any problem with that.
Your Honor,
Yes.
have we had anybody interested at all, approached anyone at the city?
Yeah,
Or
we do.
people out
We
there?
have one application in already.
Okay.
People that have heard about it and knew it was happening, so there are some. One.
And I think, people that are interested in the city business and whatnot, and what we're doing, probably are aware that we have this need, so, and if they're not, why, maybe that would be a strike against them for their interests, I don't know. But, that was my initial reaction as well, that the 17th doesn't seem like a real long time away, but,
And Your Honor, the other thing, and I don't know if Rich wants me to say this, but I think Rich is planning to be gone that meeting, and so he'd have to call in, and that's an important decision to make, and that may be hard to do in an executive session. And
that would be a serious consideration, especially where we've got a shorthand council now. We'd hate to have our council president not be able to participate in that.
I'd be more than glad to call in. I surely don't want the times changed for me. I would like to see more people in the audience getting involved in what we're doing here. And every time we turn around, we make one announcement and the audience gets up and leaves. So, it would be nice to have some interest generated more than just one application. Be short interview if it's one application.
yeah,
Your Honor, is there any deadline for some of these committees and that ordinance? I've read through the codes and they mention all these committees. I just wasn't sure if there was a deadline on those.
Your Honor, I'm not
They
aware
have to
of
be
any,
filled.
because people can stay on the current committees. Obviously, we have the one for the rec board coming up, just
Sure.
because the two people that were on that are no longer with us, but.
Your Honor,
Yes, Councilman Fabian.
would it be feasible to look at maybe extending that deadline and doing the interviews on the 4th, and then if we couldn't come to a consensus, plan on making our work session the 11th a special meeting to go ahead and fill those vacancies? And that would, because I got the opportunity to call in and know how just technically difficult it is to really even be a part of a meeting that way.
It's
So,
really disjointed.
yeah, it's hard, and I can't imagine trying to interview somebody, and I mean, it's just, I don't see it being feasible for Councilman Guard.
Yeah, that would be just fine with us.
That would help me, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there any reason that we've got it the 17th? Is there any reason that they couldn't have the deadline for the 21st, which would be the day of the council meeting?
Yeah, Your Honor, the only reason I did that is so that you would have the applications a couple days before the meeting to review and
Read through.
them instead of the day of. But, yeah, you could do the 21st too.
Or say the 20th, that would give them,
Yeah.
that day
On
on
the
a Monday
Monday.
and give it over the weekend. But I agree. I didn't realize that Councilman Guard was going to be gone. And I do think that it's important that he be here for that meeting. So if we could change that date then to,
February 4th. Is that, February 4th is,
Is that the meeting?
That would be the meeting. That would be our first council meeting.
so they need to have it
So,
in on the Friday before.
We could even, yeah, I mean, if you said the 31st,
They got him in on the 31st, and
Yeah.
we'd have time.
give them the rest of the month, and we'd have plenty of time.
Noon on the 31st, we'd have the weekend to go through 'em.
Okay.
If there's more than one.
So the 4th would be the special meeting, correct? Okay.
The 4th would be interviews,
meeting.
and we would, that's a regular meeting.
That's a regular meeting.
Okay.
We do our interviews, and
Okay.
then if we can come to consensus, we could go ahead and fill the positions that night. Otherwise, I was saying we could use the 11th as a special meeting to go ahead and appoint then.
Because I will be gone also, that, I'll be, well, depends on the weather, whether I leave the 11th or 12th. But
Okay.
just-
okay,
Your Honor.
yes.
And just a point of clarification on that last item on the report, that each of these appointees would be for 1 year, but that the word one, then if they wanted to run for re-election, it'd be a 4-year seat. The word 3-1 would be a 2-year term as far as a re-election
Okay.
type of thing. Is that correct? Okay.
Excuse me, Mayor. Could Todd repeat that for those that weren't listening?
These appointments, each of the appointees, if they wanted to continue on the council, they're only for 2014. So each of these people would have to run for re-election this year if they want to retain that seat. And Ward 1 would be a 4-year seat, and Ward 3 would be a 2-year seat.
Ward 1 would be a
4-year.
4-year.
Because Eric would normally be up. And so that would fill the rest of that term, but the Ward 3 would only fill the remaining.
Would only go through the election, so
2
then it'd
years.
have to remain the next 2 years.
That way we keep
Yeah.
the staggered
Position.
elections like we have now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is that all that you need on that one then, Stephen? Okay, good. Okay, agenda item number 11, Fremont County School District 25 Recreation Board appointments, 2 council members, city administrators report, please.
Yes, Your Honor, I was approached by Lee Martinez from the Rec Board about 2 weeks ago, saying that we needed to appoint 2 members from the council to this committee, mainly because they have a big meeting coming up on January 13th, and that's at 6 p.m., and that's where they hear all of the requests that people want for monies for recreation. And the 2 members that we had on that were Councilman Heiser and Councilman Baker, both that have resigned from the council. So we have 2 vacancies, and the mayor had thought that council members Richard Gard and Jonathan Fabian could serve on that temporarily. It could be permanent, but temporarily, so that they could sit on this committee and board, and then when we do it in February, they can either be reappointed or new council members put on there. But we're recommended council members Gard and Fabian to be on the school recreation board.
Okay. Chair would entertain a motion regarding this issue.
Your Honor, I'd make a motion to have Councilman Guard and Fabian temporary appointments to School District 25 Rec Board.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion? Do you two council members feel comfortable with that?
Your Honor, I would like to be on that panel if possible.
Yeah, I have no issue. I've had the opportunity to serve on the county's recreation board previously, so I have some limited experience, I think. So thank you.
We felt that you had both had leanings that direction, so that would make sense to us. And it is such an important board, you know, and the city council is required by code, is my understanding, to have members on it. And so it's something that we can't put off, and we need to fill. And as Mr. Weaver indicated, it's a temporary appointment, and then we'll come back for the full appointment later on. But okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor at this time. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Mayor votes aye. Motion carries. Good. Agenda item number 12, appointments, municipal court judge, alternate court judge, and city attorney. City administrator's report, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Pursuant to statutory requirements, the governing body make appointments annually for the following position: municipal judge, alternate judge, and city attorney. With these appointments of these positions, staff thought we should appropriate to identify whether these individuals were contract or employees and their respective salaries and rate of pay. So the first one is municipal judge Teresa McKee. She's listed as an employee of the city at a salaried rate of approximately $3,400 per month. Her compensation includes FICA, withholdings, workers' compensation, and retirement. Aaron Vincent is our alternate judge, and he's billed at the hourly rate of $100 per hour. Currently, we don't have a contract with him. However, it's my intention to start that process, so we do have an actual contract with Mr. Vincent. This is not a position that's used very frequently. In the last 3 years, we've used him once. And then Rick Sollers, the city attorney, billed an hourly rate of $125 an hour for services rendered. It's our recommendation that we appoint these individuals.
Okay. The chair would entertain a motion regarding the municipal court judge, alternate court judge, and city attorney appointments.
Your Honor, I'd make the motion to approve the appointments of all three.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve these appointments. Is there discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, agenda item number 13, ordinance number 13-011, third and final reading, door-to-door solicitation. City administrator's report, please.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the third and final reading. We've had quite a bit of discussion about this. From our last one, everything was taken out of the ordinance except the following language. It shall be unlawful for any person to enter upon the premises of another with the intent to sell merchandise either from stock or by order when such property is posted with a sign prohibiting solicitation. This section shall not apply if entry is made by prior appointment or a contractual relationship between the person and the owner exists, which allows for entry, or to the use of door hangers as a means of communication. And so that's what it stands right now, and that's what you'll be approving in the third and final reading.
Okay, the chair would entertain a motion regarding, I guess we better back up and have, would the city clerk please read ordinance number 13-011 by title only?
Your Honor, I just want to state one, since we've went through 3 final readings and we called it door-to-door solicitation, I'm wondering if you feel comfortable in leaving that as the title, or if it should be no solicitation signs, or that's really up to you.
I don't
Anybody
have
any heartburn about how it's
I don't
presented?
have any problem with the door-to-door solicitation.
Works.
Proposed ordinance number 13-011, an ordinance amending Title V, Business Licenses and Regulations of the Riverton Municipal Code for the City of Riverton, adding Chapter 5.28, door-to-door solicitation, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, and providing for an effective date.
The chair would entertain a motion regarding 13-011.
Your Honor, I'd move to approve ordinance number 13-001.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion? Anyone care to comment on this? Or are we happy with what we've ended up with? I guess a question that I would have, where it suggests that we're repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith and providing for an effective date. Are there other ordinances, Mr. Weaver, that we're in conflict with or changing with unintended consequences?
Your Honor, I don't believe so. I think the only one in relation to this that we've ever talked about is the trespass ordinance, but I think this just provides a little bit more clarification related to that.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
The only other question
on.
I guess I would have is, I guess initially we entered into this whole conversation as a means to assist the chief and his deputies in being able to go about their business in dealing with individuals who are not maybe acting appropriately when engaging in door-to-door sales. And I guess the question I would have is, does this even do that for you, or are we really back where we started?
Your Honor, I think we talked last month that this is clearly a compromise of what, different people had different ideas. What this does allow us to do, though, in one circumstance is that when the public or when community development or the police department get complaints from people about them, at least now we have a tool that we can say, have you posted your property as no solicitation? Here's a way you can avoid that problem in the future. It's a lot more satisfying, I think, to be able to offer something and some level of service rather than saying, I'm sorry, we can't help you. And so if it does nothing other than that, maybe it's clunky, but it's going to give us a tool that I think that we can use. So I am in support of it, acknowledging that it is a compromise of all the things that we had originally asked for, but it does give us a tool, and I think it will be helpful in the long run.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes, Councilman Gardner.
And I think this is a proper agenda and proper way to do that. And those individuals in the city that really do not want to be solicited should put these signs out. It's their front door. And if you have a grandmother or somebody that doesn't need to be bothered with that, we should get these signs out and post those areas so that you can react to that when we have a problem. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other comments? I think the chief's description of it as being clunky is pretty accurate from my perspective, but I don't disagree with what Councilman Gard has just said, that I see a lot of signs on doors that are posted now without the ordinance, so I think we've always had that ability, and maybe this does give the chief a little bit of teeth to something to fall back on, but it's at any rate. Okay, any other comments? Okay, all those in favor of the ordinance signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Point of order.
We better have a roll call. As soon as I looked at Courtney, I knew that wasn't right. Sorry, Courtney.
That's okay, thank you. Councilwoman Mary Ellen Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Rich Gard.
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan Fabian.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Warren Morpness.
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Reports and comments. City Council Committee reports and Council Members Roundtable. Councilman Christensen.
Your Honor, I haven't had any meetings, but I did want to bring up one thing that I did see on YouTube. If anybody's interested, I did find it. Cody Myers is on YouTube in conjunction with NASRO, the National Association of School Resource Officers. And get on there, look at that. He did a wonderful job. It's very, very professionally done. I was very impressed. So it's very inspiring. So anybody, if they have a chance, get on there and look that up. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman Garden.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't have any committees to report. I would like to comment, though, on the work that's done on the Main Street, Broadway, and Federal. I believe the city crews have done a wonderful job. It has been mentioned to me that we do have some slick intersections, and I passed that on to the staff, and I think that they're working overtime to make the streets as good as we can. 8 inches of snow is a lot of snow, and we need to expect some difficulties in it. And I would suggest that we slow down and take a little bit more time to get where we're going. But I do appreciate the work that the law enforcement's doing, and also the city crews are working around the clock, and I see the trucks out moving. I really do appreciate their efforts. Thank you, Your Honor.
Councilman Fabian.
Thank you. No committee meetings over the holidays. I just would echo what Rich said as far as the city crews. They truly are doing a wonderful job, and also just a second welcome to Cindy Guston. I know she'll do an absolutely wonderful job in the victim witness coordinator position. So that's all. Thank you.
Councilman Smith.
Reports tonight, Your Honor, but also thanks to our city crews. It's been good that things are getting plowed, and it looks great, so thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, city administrator's report.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to echo that too. I've had a few phone calls where people have actually praised us on our snow removal, and that's compared to my first year here. I had a lot of people complaining about it, but I really appreciate everything they're doing. They're working late at night. I know they're in the middle of the night or early in the morning, and so one of the comments was it was on Friday and they woke up at 4 o'clock on Saturday and the streets were already done, and they were just floored that would happen. I'd also like to thank our collection distribution people on the leak that we had up on North 8th West. That was quite I was driving to work and saw that and thought, I just thank my lucky stars that I'm not one of those crew members having to get out there in below zero temperatures and work on that. But they really jumped on it and got it done, and I appreciate that. The final thing is the Rendezvous Committee. They are an arm or a part of the city, and they'd like to submit an application to the School District 25 Rec Board for $6,500 for rally event and some equipment, and would like to get the permission of the council to go ahead and do that, since that is a city committee, and we want to run that through you and make sure that you're fine with doing that. That's the same amount, I believe, that they asked for last year. So if
How much was that again? $6,500.
That helps with their big event.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you need a motion on that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'd move to give the $6,500 to the Rendezvous Committee.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there a discussion?
Yeah, just
Yes.
clarification on the motion on the floor. We're not giving the money, we're allowing them to apply for it.
Apply for it.
That's my
I take it,
understanding,
yeah.
yes.
Thank you.
To the District 25 board.
Right.
You can tell who's with the finance committee, can't you?
Somebody has to have the brakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
just give it.
Good catch there, Councilman Smith. Yeah. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of allowing the Rendezvous Committee to apply for a $6,500 grant, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mayor votes aye. Anything else, Mr. Weaver?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Sorry, I
Councilman
forgot
Fabian.
one other thing. Tomorrow, the calendar of events is supposed to come out for the Wild West Winter Carnival, so anyone who's interested in participating in any of those events, please be looking for that starting tomorrow. And also, you can go to the Winter Carnival's website, which is wildwestwintercarnival.org, and we're also on Facebook.
Okay, thank you. Okay, mayor's comments. I would just like to echo, welcoming Ms. Guston aboard for the city. Her predecessor, Carol Westlake, just did an outstanding job here for years and years, and I'm sure that Cindy will do just as well. So really looking forward to her continuing on in that capacity. I share the accolades for the city crews for the snow removal and everything, and especially in light of the fact that they've got two of their large pieces of equipment for snow removal that are broken down at this time. One of them, the Kodiak, has a transmission that's out, and they're waiting for a seal on it, and the other one has a hydraulic line that's broken, and they're waiting for a hydraulic hose to fix that. So I think they're doing a remarkable job with the equipment that they have and whatnot. So I agree with Mr. Weaver that the leak up on 8th Street was pretty remarkable when we were coming to work that morning, and the steam and everything was there. You couldn't see cars coming through the street. It was really a mess. And then to think that you were going to have to go out and work in that weather, as cold as it was, in water and down in the hole to fix a leak on I don't know what size line it was, probably an 8 or 10 inch line. What was that, Don? 8 inch line, yeah. So anyway, it's neat that we've got people that are doing that and just do it every day in and out. And so when we have citizens that get a little grouchy with us once in a while, why, it's nice to know that we've got staff that just do their job, and we really appreciate it. I was able to attend a meeting this last weekend up at the college at the Joint Tribal Center up there, and it had to do with training on how to influence legislators to get laws passed, and it was really an interesting session. Gary Collins was Clarissa Harris, Chelsea Lee, Chessa Lee, and Jolene Catton, Marcy Shaner, and Patrick Goggles were there as presenters, and a gentleman by the name of Richard Garrett was there as well. That was describing how the game is played, and it really is. It's quite involved, quite intricate, and I don't know that I have the emotional energy to want to expend in that arena, but it really was interesting. Made some friends as well, so I enjoyed that time. And then Mr. Weaver and I went out to the Select Committee on Tribal Relations just yesterday, and they were talking about the part of the agenda that we were interested in had to do with the EPA ruling. The Attorney General was there and gave quite a long presentation, as well as many of the tribal leaders, and several legislators were there and whatnot. So I don't know that there's going to be an easy solution to that issue. I think it boils down to that we're all supportive of clean air. It's in all of our interest, and maybe this will help accomplish it. I don't know, but I think it's something that's entrenched so deeply in the legal field that for the average person on the street to have any impact on it is it's not going to be have any impact at all. And so I think that we just need to support our Attorney General, our state, and to move forward as best we can on it. But it does make a lot of us very nervous, I think, on both sides of the river, what the implications are on it. So, but I guess we can come together and reason, why, it'll all work out. So, and with that, I'm happy that we're starting a new year, and seem to be off to a good start. We've got a good team going, and I see Mr. Gore's out in the audience waving his arms, so maybe he wants to add something. Do you have anything, Jim?
Yes, Your Honor, and not to pile on to the comments that were made earlier, but I was one of those individuals who was out well before daybreak on Saturday morning, and I was pretty amazed that the city crew had already plowed and had Windrow, Sunset, and North 8th, and Federal, and and with the snow starting down in a sheet at about 8 o'clock in the evening, and have that all accomplished. I don't know what hour of the morning, but it was certainly impressive. Certainly with the amount of snow we received. So I'd like to give them an attaboy.
Well, I appreciate your commenting on it, and the crews certainly do deserve that attaboy, so thank you, Jim. Okay, we don't need an executive session this evening, I believe, so the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
Your Honor, I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.